proud of how I've played throughout the season. A lot of consistent play. Obviously, I had that fantastic stretch over the summer, which made up the bulk of the season for me, and how many points that I accumulated in the race to Dubai. So, but yeah, very happy. But at the same time, it would be nice to pick up 2 trophies on Sunday and not just one. So, still very motivated to go out there this week and perform well.
Obviously, you did that in 2012. How nice would it be to do that again? You've obviously got a fantastic record around this course.
Yeah, I'm really comfortable on this golf course. I've played well here, basically every year that we've been. Got the win in 2012, and most years it seems like the guy who wins this tournament wins the race to Dubai as well. And it would be nice to cap off the season with another win here. And I feel like I'm probably a little fresher than most of the guys as well. I think there's a few jaded minds and bodies getting off that plane from Turkey the other night. So hopefully I can use that to my advantage and put in a good performance this week.
So you'll be crowned European Tour #1 for the second time in 3 years. You're a big supporter of the European Tour. Part of that this year, you've increased your involvement with the Irish Open. And I know you've got an exciting bit of news that you'd like to share with us about that tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I was excited to get more involved with the Irish Open, and with it going to one of the best golf courses in the world in Royal County Down. I might be a bit biased in that, seeing it is close to home, but I've tried to use any sort of influence or persuasion I have to try and get some guys to come over and play in it, and I'm glad to announce that Ricky Fowler has agreed to come over and play. So that's hopefully just the start of a few names coming on board and playing. But Ricky's become a very good friend of mine over the past few years. We actually played each other in the Walker Cup at Royal County Down in 2007. So it'll be nice to sort of rekindle that battle in a way. And obviously we've had a few good battles this year in a couple of the majors and at the Ryder Cup as well. So I'm delighted that Ricky can come over this side of the Atlantic and play in the Irish Open and lend his support to that event.
Thank you, Rory. We're going to open up for some questions. We're going to start the first part of the conference with broadcast media. So James, if you could start us off.
Rory, given the manner in which you've won the race to Dubai this year, how different does it feel for you coming in here this week than it did 2 years ago?
It felt, obviously, a couple of years ago that there was a lot more on the line. I needed to play well. I needed to, I still had a little bit of a lead, I think, but I still, regardless that I have won the race to Dubai, I still want to play really well this week and try and win this tournament, because there would be no point in me showing up if I thought that I'd already, won something and was just here for a good time. Make it an even better time if I won. So I want to, as I said, I want to pick 2 trophies up on the 18th green on Sunday instead of 1. So and I feel like I'm playing well. I've hit the ball well in practice. So we'll see what happens over the course of the 4 days.
You said you'd taken the last 3 weeks off to prepare for your upcoming legal case. How much time during that period have you been able to devote to golf and practicing?
Yeah, I sort of got. It's been okay. The last sort of last week or so, I've really put my head down and focused on my golf and everything like that. So. That's been great. I've actually felt like I've had a really good little bit of preparation coming into this event. So, I feel good with my game, and and hopefully I've done enough work to be ready for Thursday.
All players always seem to talk about improving and finding the next level up. After a year like this, how much better do you think you can get?
I always feel like I can get better, even if the improvements aren't that noticeable. You mightn't be able to see them. They mightn't be obvious improvements. They might be little things that I've tried to improve and I feel like I've gotten better at. But there's always things that you can do to try and get better. But it's for me right now. It's just about fine-tuning everything that I have, because I feel like I am in a really good place with my game, and it's just about trying to keep that level of consistency as high as possible.
Great.
Thank you. Rory, I just wonder, you played the Pro-Am this morning. How do you balance wanting to stay sharp and having regular competition and also being fresh for an event like this as well? Where do you draw the line between which one becomes most important at that time?
Yeah, I think it's an ever-evolving process. I mean, there's been some seasons where I've liked to play the week before a major, and there's been some seasons where I don't want to play the week before, and it really just depends on how you feel at the time. If you do feel a little tired or a little jaded, then it might be time just to take a week off and rejuvenate. And that doesn't mean that you don't see a golf course or hit golf balls. You might still go and do a little bit of practice, but at least you're not in that intense competition. So it's not really it's not that physically you get tired, but mentally it can be quite draining playing week in, week out. So yeah, there is a balance to find, but I feel that if you put enough good work in away from the golf course and away from tournaments, and your preparations